or post-game live streams going. You know we always got to go live. All right, let's see if we up and running now. We up and running. All right, here we go. Back up and running now. We should be good to go. Salute to Knicks Nation. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Just let me know that that we're up and back running. Let's go. CP on the check-in. Late night stream. Knicks news, Knicks rumors, post-game live shows after every game. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button for KnicksFanTV. The second half of the schedule has been released. And boy, oh boy, it is brutal, people. Absolutely brutal. The Knicks will start the campaign back from the All-Star break on March 11th at Milwaukee. Now, remember, the Knicks washed up the Bucks earlier this season, so you know that the Bucks will be hell-bent on revenge, and that one is going to be in Milwaukee with the Greek Freak and company, so that's going to be a tough one. So they're in Milwaukee, then they go to Oklahoma City, then in Brooklyn, and then Philly on a back-to-back, March 15th and March 16th. Brooklyn, then Philly. Tough to start off the month. 4-game road trip to kick it right off. And man, oh man, this is going to test it. Hey, if they're a playoff team, they will have already earned it, man. Trust me. So that's going to be a tough stretch. You got Orlando, Philly, Washington. Then at Milwaukee again, March 27th. Finish off the month, home against the Miami Heat, and then at the Minnesota Timberwolves. So tough March to start it off. Let's go into April now. You have the return of Kristaps Porzingis once again, April 2nd on Friday, home at the Garden. Then a back-to-back with the Detroit Pistons. On the road again in Brooklyn. Then at Boston, who's struggling, but still, tough game. And they're going to be looking for revenge as well since the Knicks watched them up earlier last month. Then you got home against the Memphis Grizzlies, home against Toronto, then the Lakers on a back-to-back. April 11th, 12th, you have Toronto, Lakers back-to-back at home. Then April 14th, you will see RJ versus Zion. And then at Dallas against KP and Luka. Home against the Pelicans, April 18th. You have Charlotte, who's a tough team, already beat the Knicks. Tough team, Charlotte at home, April 20th. Back-to-back against the Hawks, April 21st. Then home against the Toronto Raptors on the 24th. Home against Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and the Phoenix Suns on April 26th. And then closing off the month of April, home against the Chicago Bulls. And then here we go to close out the month. You have at Houston, winnable game. At the Memphis Grizzlies, back-to-back. Then they're going to go mile high. They're going to go see Jokic, Jamal Murray and those boys. At Denver, May 5th. At Phoenix, May 7th. At the Clippers, May 9th. And then at the Lakers, May 11th. This West Coast trip, the last one they finished 2-2. They have a 6-game West Coast trip from May 2nd to the 11th at Houston, at Memphis, back-to-back, then in Denver, then Phoenix, Clippers, then Lakers. It's tough. That's a tough one, man. What you got to hope for by then, you got to hope that, the Clippers and the Lakers don't have much to play for. Hopefully they're resting some guys, load management or something, because that's going to be a tough stretch for the Knicks, man. Then they come back home against the Spurs, May 13th. Home against the Charlotte Hornets, May 15th. And then finish off against the Boston Celtics on May 16th. So, tough schedule, man. Absolutely tough schedule. They have five national TV games. Put some respect on our name. Back on national TV. March 15th at the Nets. April 12th against the Lakers. April 18th against Zion at home. These are all at MSG. April 24th against the Raptors, MSG as well. And then April 28th in Chicago. So 5 national TV games for the Knicks. Tough ones though, man. Most of their games on 1 day rest. You have 25 games on 1 day rest. So you don't got much time to wallow in your losses or celebrate your victories. You got to get right back to it. 6 games on no nights rest. So those are the back-to-backs. 2 games on 2 days rest. 1 game on 3 days rest. No games on 4 days rest. And 1 game on 5 days rest. So this is going to come rapid fire, man. If they're going to be a playoff team, they will have truly, truly earned it. They will have truly, truly earned it, man, because this is not going to be easy by any stretch. Not going to be easy by any stretch at all. So there you have it. What do you guys think about it, man? Give us a call. Give me a call, 657-383-1509. The phone lines are open. Let me know what you guys think about this schedule, man. This is going to be tough. This is definitely going to be tough. So let's see where the Knicks end up. And once again, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Had a little bit of technical difficulties early, but we're back in the thick of things, back in the mix, and ready to go. So salute to all the mods. If you guys are new in the chat, leave me a hashtag new. I'll shout you guys out. Salute to George Jones in the chat early. He says this is going to be a test. Definitely going to be a test, George, for sure. But if we're ready to go, this is it. You know what I mean? This is it. So there's another thing I want to talk about. Oh, the playing game. Here we go. The playing game. Here's details on the play-in tournament from Ian Begley. It says, this is a little bit small for you guys to read, but I'll read it to you. Play-in tournament will begin Tuesday, May 18th and conclude Friday, May 21st. Teams with the 7th and the 8th highest winning percentages in each conference will have 2 opportunities to win 1 game to earn a playoff spot. The teams with the 9th and 10th in each conference will have to win 2 consecutive games to earn a playoff spot. At the conclusion of the regular season, team with the 7th highest winning percentage in each conference will host a team with the 8th in the conference play-in. Then the winner of the 7th 8 game in each conference will be the 7th seed in the playoffs for the conference. The teams with the 9th highest winning percentage in each conference will host the 10th. That's the 9-10 game. The loser of the 7-8 game will host the winner of the 9-10 game in a playing game, and the winner of that game will be the 8th seed of the conference. So there you go. There you go. So we'll see how it goes, man. We shall see how it goes, and if that's in the cards for them. Right now, if you look at the standings, if we take a look at the standings, the Knicks are currently sitting in 7th place in the East. But you have a ton of teams basically right there with them. You have the Bulls sitting in 8th. You have the Charlotte Hornets sitting in 9th, who's already beaten the Knicks and playing well. Damn near same record. They're tied in terms of games back. You have the Bulls, the Knicks, and the Hornets tied in terms of games back. Then you have the Heat, 6.5 back, already beat the Knicks twice. So again, remember those games, those 2 losses we were talking about early in the season, those could come back to haunt the Knicks later on. They have another game against Miami at home, so they got to make sure that they win that game. And then you have the Hawks, you have the Magic, so on and so forth. The Knicks could climb up. The Celtics are in 6th. Raptors are in 5th. Knicks are 1 game back of the Raptors, half game back of the Celtics, and 1.5 games back of the Pacers. Pacers are in 4th. Knicks are 1.5 games back of the Pacers, and the Pacers just lost tonight to the Golden State Warriors, who beat the Knicks last night. So Golden State on the back-to-backs wins both of their games. They just beat the Pacers, so the Knicks gain a half game on them. And so, hey, man, it could go either way. I think they can climb to as high as 4th, or they could drop out of this thing completely. They could. I think at the very least they'll be fighting in that play-in. I think at the very least they'll be fighting in that play-in game. So let's see how things turn out, man. Let's definitely see how things turn out. In other news, as we head into tomorrow's game against the Sacramento Queens, as Shaq would say, Sacramento Kings. Remember the Kings beat the Knicks in that early matchup January 21st, 103-94. Unbelievable loss by the Knicks. Just a terrible loss by the Knicks, honestly. One that they definitely did not need on their schedule. But, you know, it was a slow start once again for that offense and a slow finish. And the Kings, despite being a lousy defensive team, they turned it up when they needed to. Of course, Swiper the Fox always kills the Knicks, never fails, always kills the Knicks. And of course, Halliburton rubs it in our face at the end. So those two guys really popped off for the Kings in that game. You had Harrison Barnes had a good game in that game. And the Knicks offense just really could not mount anything early or late. And the Kings were able to steal it. But nevertheless, you know, as I said, this Kings team is now looking at their 8th straight loss. They just lost to Brooklyn last night. Their defense has given up 120 points in the last 7 games. But, you know, even still, even though their defense has given up that much opportunities, Knicks offense is just too stagnant, man. It's just too stagnant. So you just don't know if the Knicks can capitalize because, you know, Julius is going to bring his game. But you just don't know from one end to another, what are we going to get from RJ? What are we going to get from Bullock? The supporting cast has got to step up, especially when you're looking at this second half schedule. When you're looking at the playoffs and teams are going to be forcing the Knicks to beat them from the perimeter, forcing them to shoot. So let's see how that works. Now, going into tomorrow's game against the Kings, Elfrid Payton is doubtful with a hamstring injury. Elfrid Payton is doubtful with a hamstring injury. What does that mean? That means Derrick Rose most likely going to get that starting nod. And so you'll see Rose starting with RJ, Bullock, Randall, and Nerlens Noel. Now the question is, who's going to move up? Who moves up? Is it Austin Rivers? Is it Kevin Knox? Is it Frank Ntilikina? Which one of those guys on the fringe is going to step up off of that bench unit and give us a spark? Obviously, you know, IQ will slide up to the point. You'll have Burks coming in at the 2. Ideally, me personally, I like to see Kev get that shot. I'd like to see Kev get that shot. Give us a bit more efficiency in that offense. Let Burks and IQ do most of the ball handling. You know, Rivers is just kind of like a redundant piece when it comes to the guards. You know, is it Frank? You know, with Halliburton coming off the bench, should Frank get a look so that we make sure that Halliburton doesn't embarrass us at the Garden? You know what I'm saying? Is you know Halliburton is going to be hungry. You know Halliburton is going to be hungry. You know he wants revenge. He had a good game against the Nets last night as well. So, you know Halliburton is coming ready to play. Halliburton last night dropped, I'll tell you guys right now, Halliburton dropped, I believe it was 23 points off the bench for the Kings. So Halliburton's coming in. He's coming in ready. He dropped, where is he at? 23, 9, and 5 for Halliburton last night against the Nets, who don't play any defense. But, you know, who on the Knicks bench is going to take that challenge? Is it going to be Burks? Is it going to be Quickly? Do they give Frank a chance? We'll see. I'm not so sure it's going to be Rivers, though. I'm not so sure it's going to be Rivers, but we never know. We never know with Tibbs. We just don't know with Tibbs. So the answer is one of those guys on the fringe is going to get an opportunity to once again prove himself in this lineup. And it could be for an extended period of time. We don't know the extent of the Payton injury. We don't know how long Payton is going to be out. And so, you know, with hamstrings, you just never know. You never know with hamstrings, and that could be an extended injury. And if that's the case, does Payton ever get back his starting job if Rose gets in there? And so you just never know, man. But, you know, it's situations like this where guys get that opportunity to get back into the rotation. And we talked about that on last night's show. When would a Frank or Rivers or Kevin Knox get back into the rotation? Could be as early as tomorrow for one of those guys. So they're going to have to step up and assume that role and play well, man. This Knicks offense is dying for a spark and some consistency. Now, Rose gave it to us early in last night's game. I was very encouraged with Rose's play early. I thought he's very patient in the pick and roll. Finished that game with 8 dimes. Thought Rose was in his bag in that first half. You know, fourth quarter, late third, fourth quarter, he wasn't there for him. Wasn't finishing his shots. And, you know, definitely didn't convert. But early in that game, I thought he really gave us a spark off the bench. And now he gets his chance to start. Now he gets his chance to start for Tibbs. So let's see what Rose comes up with. Now, speaking of Austin Rivers, very interesting comments from Austin Rivers in today's edition of the New York Post. Shout out to Mark Berman. Here's what Rivers had to say in the Post about his playing time. He said, as long as I'm here, I'm here. I can't control if I'm traded today, tomorrow, or the next day. What I can control is how I am as a player and what I can bring to this team every day. That's being ready at all times, no matter if my name is called or not, or to help the young guys be ready to play. I'll continue to be ready to play for however long. Now, here's what he said about Rose. Which was very interesting. He said that they had told me after the February 7th game versus the Heat that they were bringing Derek in. I had already kind of heard stuff even before the season started that he was going to be coming here. My whole thing is control what I can control. When they told me he was coming, I said, okay, obviously there's been stuff about me being moved to other places with all this kind of stuff up in the air. My thing is, as long as I'm Nick, just to be professional. So he's saying all the right things. Rivers is saying all the right things, and that's a good sign. That's certainly a good sign. Rivers is professional. Listen, he's a coach's son. Doc has been, NBA as NBA gets. And so Rivers knows the game. He knows the game. He knows, you could lay your head down somewhere, and the next day you're laying your head down in another city. So he's very well aware of the situation. He came in prepared for that. And that's it, man. I had higher expectations for Rivers coming in, as you guys know. And we certainly got gassed. So I got gassed off the Austin Rivers game. We knew he was going to have a game like that at least once this year. Turned out he had two of them against the Utah Jazz. But the thing about Rivers is that, he just never, his offense just seldomly came within the flow of the rest of the team. And so while he was getting, his microwave on and getting his buckets, it was kind of in isolation. We all know how he was missing Obi a ton of times. Never connected with Obi or just never really got into it from a facilitation standpoint. And that's why he is where he is right now. So it's not really a surprise that he's not getting the playing time. So let's see. Let's see who gets that opportunity to show themselves and to prove themselves. Maybe Doc comes to his rescue. Maybe Doc comes and rescues Austin Rivers and brings him to Philly for the playoff run. We never know. But nevertheless, Rivers is he's prepared and ready for whatever, man. He's prepared and ready for whatever. So that's the story with the squad for tonight, man. What do you guys think? Give me a call, 657-383-1509. Let's chop it up for a little bit before we sign out. I was just watching a little bit of the Jazz and Lakers game, just tuning in on that. Jazz are playing hot, man. They're about 23-6 since Austin Rivers lit them up. They've been lit. They got a fire under them. So Jazz playing good ball, and we'll see what happens with them. Let's go to the phones. Man, I haven't heard from my man in a minute. Ron Cleveland, what's going on, bro? Talk to me, bro.
Man. CP, what's going on, man?
Yo, Ron, long time, man. You know what? It's so funny. Somebody on Twitter hit me up. He was like, yo, you got to go get Ron Cleveland. We need Ron Cleveland back. We got to hear from him. So, this is serendipity tonight, man. Hope you're doing well, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Hey, CP, it's all about schedules, man. With what I got going on, man. And, I'm always watching this stuff, man. You know what I mean? And tonight, because I normally get on at 5 in the evenings, man. So, tonight, I was off, and I was like, I got the alert. I was like, oh, he's coming on tonight. Hey, it's perfect. I'm about to jump on. You know what I mean? So, man, hey, I got to come home. You heard me. You know what I mean? Hey, love you guys, man. Much love to you guys. Much respect to you guys, man, for what you do. You blew an orange to the bone, Gristle. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
Man, hey, it's so much done happened, man, that I ain't got a chance to talk to y'all. And, man, Derrick Rose signing, I'm happy about that. Quickly, I feel like he done hit a little bit of a wall. You know what I mean? Julius, a.k.a. Get On My Back Randall, doing his thing. You know what I mean? All-star.
That's a fact.
Hey, the ramifications of Julius Randle becoming an all-star, man, people ain't thinking about this, CP. You know when it's time for for the All-Star game, and that All-Star game, that's the biggest recruiting time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Players are gonna come to Julius, man, and gonna spread the word. Say, hey, look here, man. Let them know I'm coming. Let them know I'm coming. We healthy. We got money. We got cap space. We can move players if we need to move them. You know what I mean? But I agree with you 100%. The New York Knicks right now, man, when I looked at the standings, we were 3 games out of the 4th spot and win. The team in that 4th spot is Indiana, who lost tonight, by the way, and we split with them already on the season. The other team in the 3rd spot is Milwaukee, and we blasted them early in the season.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and when you look at that, that's how that lets me know this front office is not going to sit on that $15 million that we got. You know what I mean? This ain't no hedge fund. This ain't no profit sharing. They're not giving that money to them guys, man. They're going to use that money on a player that they're going to bring here. We just going to have to sit back, get our popcorn ready, and watch the show. But I'm telling you like this, they're going to make a move. And the thing is, I don't know who's leaving.
I don't know, man.
I don't know who's coming. But my common sense tell me, business-wise, they're going to make a move, man. They're going to make a move. And I already heard a little birdie today that our boy, the boss of all boss, told Leon, hey, whatever you need from me, whatever you need me to do, I'm here to help.
You know Jimmy D's ready.
And the boss being, you know who?
Yeah, of
Mr.
course.
James Dolan. Shout out to James Dolan.
Of course.
The owner whose money ain't a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we in the best shape. And so far as that schedule, this is what I'm going to say on that schedule. Now I'm going to let you go, CP, man.
Mm-hmm.
That schedule, it is what it is. Everybody got to play. You play who they line up in front of you. You know what I mean? As much as it's a tough schedule for us, it's a tough schedule for them. Ain't nobody want to play the New York Knicks. Sure. If this was the March Madness, we are that Cinderella team that you don't want to play because we would send you home in a single game elimination.
Yeah.
Nobody. When we come in your building, your points total go down. Or you come in our building, your points total go down. And we got to address that center position. We missing Mitch, man.
Big time.
People driving Ferraris in the lane.
Big time.
We can't rely on Nerlens Noel and them knees, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Taj is a great player, but he's old. He's still a very good player, but he's old. So that's what it is, man. Hey, keep doing what you're doing,
One second, though, Ron.
When I get my opportunity to get in.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asking you, man. I mean, what do you do? What do you want to do? Do you want Drummond? I mean, what do you want to do at the trade deadline, man? What are you thinking, bro?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what I want. Drummond would be a good piece, but Drummond gonna upset the apple cart.
Yeah.
I'd rather us go try to find us a JaVale McGee or Dedner, somebody that can hold the fort till Mitch come back.
Yeah.
That's similar to Mitch, but is a big body center. We need a big body center, man. We got these lightweights. Them guys need some sandbags in their pockets because they're getting banged around.
Yeah.
We need somebody that can, you know what I mean? JaVale McGee is like 270, I believe.
I like that.
And legit 7-footer. That's what we need, man. I ain't trying to break the bank on the center because Mitch gonna be back. We just right now, without Mitch around, man, we are like a ship with a leak, and it eventually gonna sink if we don't fix that. That center position is our biggest problem, and the shooting that Julius Randle don't have. We don't have nobody that we can count on night in and night out other than Julius Randle.
Yeah,
it's like who's gonna score? Who's gonna be that number 2 guy?
Yeah.
That small forward position is killing us.
It's killing us, bro. Killing
us too. And RJ got to get more consistent, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Ron. I agree with you, man. The small forward position, man. I said it yesterday on the preview show. I said we need a dynamo, man. We still need that dynamo. Bullock, you just don't know what day of the week it is with him any night. You know what I mean? One night he give you 5 threes. Next night he give you 5 points, period. And that's just it. We just get nothing from
Dr.
the three,
Jekyll
man.
And Mr. Hyde.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, man. I mean, man, I just wish we would have been a little bit more patient with Knox and just let him work through some of the kinks just to see, man, But I don't know. Maybe the answer is just not there at the 3.
Is, CP, I'm with you, man. You know my thing about that, man. If we ain't gonna play these guys that's on our roster in uniform, get them out of here.
Yeah.
Get them out of here. Get somebody else who can play. If you're not gonna play Frank, if you're not gonna play Knox, move on from these guys, man. But I understand everything is a process. That's why I'm 100% feeling like they're gonna make a trade. And even Rivers, I think them guys' days is numbered, man. They're gonna be on the first thing smoking right out of LaGuardia. You heard me?
I hear you, man. And Ron, good to hear from you, man. It's a lot of mans going on in the chat. The return of Ron Cleveland, folks. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Ron Cleveland back in the building. Right on time, too, man. Right on time. Somebody had hit me up. Was like, we need Ron Cleveland back. We need him back. And, Ron started his own channel. Congratulations to him. So managing that and whatnot. Obviously, schedules haven't been able to align. But you're always welcome to come back home, Ron. Always welcome to come back home, man. We leave the light on for you, bro. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. And, yeah, as far as the trade rumors and the deadline, people, I have no idea where they're going to go, man. I have no idea. I have no clue how we try to build on top of what we're doing and build for this run. I don't know where they go. It could be a surprise name that nobody's talking about, and it could be Kev going out the door. It could be Frank Rivers in a package. Who knows? I just don't know. I don't think that whoever they do, if they do get somebody, I don't think it's a name that's being, all the common names that have been out there in the rumors, the Lonzos, the JJ Redicks. I'm just not sure. Maybe JJ. He said JaVale McGee. That would be a stopgap center position move that I would go. The Drummond, not so much. Not so much. And listen, Drummond is a very talented player, no doubt about it. I just think it doesn't really help us offensively. I would get McGee to stash him. I think Nerlens is playing admirably right now. Obviously, he's not as solid as Mitch, but I think he's playing well enough. Taj, we've known this from last year that Taj is not a rim protector. We know that. He's going to play hard. He's going to play tough. He'll get on the boards here and there. Taj is just he's a hustle guy, just like he always been. Just not, what he was in his prime. I think they had said last time they had played Minnesota, when they played that Minnesota game last time, because they didn't play Minnesota at all last year, the last time they actually played Minnesota, Taj had like a 25-point game. So I think I remember that game. So yeah, it's been a while since Taj has been himself. It's been a while since Taj has been himself. The call-in number's right below. Somebody in the chat asked for the call-in number, 657-383-1509. You just heard from Ron Cleveland. So give me a call, man. Give me a call. Anthony Parasol says JJ Redick completely washed up. Can't shoot the ball in the Atlantic anymore. Yeah, I feel that. I'm just not sure, where we go. I don't think it's a blockbuster that we get in here. I don't think it's a blockbuster, bro. I don't see it. I don't see DeRozan. Somebody said I don't see Beal. I just don't see those moves. I could be wrong. I just don't see those moves. Very interesting, though, that Rivers had said that he had heard the Rose rumblings from before the season even started. So that was in the cards. Somebody in the chat said Evan Fournier, Vucevic. I mean, I don't. Why would Orlando get rid of them and not try to push for a playoff run? And congrats to Vucevic. Vucevic made the All-Star team. Well deserved, man. I admire Vucevic a lot, man. He's a very good player. And I don't think he gets enough respect because he plays in Orlando. So let's see how it goes. And the phone number has been revealed. The switchboard is lighting up. People want to talk tonight. JJ from Brooklyn, what's going on, bro?
Yo, CP, what's good, bro? What's going on, man?
How you feeling, man? Wednesday night, Can't complain. Alive and well. What's going on, bro?
No doubt, man. Good, man. Just still watching this Lakers game right now. But, yeah, man, that schedule is... Ooh, it's rough, man.
Equalizer.
But what I said to you yesterday, when I was saying, if we go on that losing streak, you could fall to 12, 13 seed, and you were like, I'd be good with that. I mean, you're definitely right. I agree with you. Like, in the long run, yeah, is it better, in a great draft that, it looks to be next, this upcoming draft. When you see the top of it, we know the names, Kuminga, Jalen Green, a big man from USC, Mobley. Mm-hmm. It's just, the point guards, obviously, Cade Cunningham, but we never have luck in the lottery, so it's like we're going to need a break somehow. Like it's just crazy. The standings, you win a couple, you could be fourth or fifth. You lose a few, you could be not even eligible for the play-in. So, is it the worst thing in the world if we don't get in and we get in the lottery and maybe get luck this time? No,
not to me.
I'm definitely upset when we lose games. I'm not rooting for them to lose at this point. Maybe that time will come later in the year. But, like after a few hours, I'm like, all right, we lost. Maybe in the long run, that's better off for what this team needs because until we get that point guard and then that shooting guard, I mean, I know you're saying you think we need a small forward. I think RJ, me personally, I think RJ is a small forward. That's just my opinion. That's semantics, I guess, shooting guard, small forward.
I say it's a wing.
I think because most of the names you hear are in the market for it, whether they're rumors, whether they're real or not, are shooting guards. So I think they prefer RJ at the 3, which, he could be the 2, the 3, whichever,
Yeah.
But we just need that knockdown shooter at the 2 and then that franchise point guard. And, the free agent classes in the next 2 years, there's not much out there. There's Kawhi this year, and then next year it's not a great free agent class either. So it's going to be tough, man. I think the draft is just the way to do it. You hope you get luck in the draft or if we're in the lottery. I know the Mavs are going on a little bit of a winning streak now, but we'll see where their pick ends up. But I just don't think it's worth it giving up the farm for these guys and just one star. Where are we gonna go with Beal? And as great as he is with Beal and Randall, what are you gonna be, a 5, 6 seed? No, unless there's another piece coming with Beal. Then I'm like, if you get Beal and Kawhi, it's like, all right, maybe I'll look at them. That's something different.
Right.
But to me, it just doesn't make much sense to trade for a Beal or a Levine right now.
Agreed, man. Opinion. Agree. Appreciate the call. Listen, I don't think either one of those guys are going anywhere by the trade deadline. I think a lot of them Beal and Levine rumors are just media and fan driven more so than anything. I don't see what is the incentive. The Bulls are right behind us. Why would they trade Zach LaVine right now when they're literally tied with us in the standings? Why would they give away their best player, All-Star? Makes no sense. Zach LaVine is not getting traded, at least not right now. Beal, I don't see a Beal trade happening, man. I just don't see it. Maybe the Mavs do it. Who knows? I don't see that, man. I think Oladipo could be realistic, but he's not a guy that I want locking up. I'm not trying to lock in at the wing with RJ and Oladipo going into the future. I'm sorry. That's just not going to win you anything with Julius. It's just not. It's just not. It's not to say that team would be set. But the Oladipo thing, that doesn't move the needle for me. I'm trying to get this thing done on the margins, and we let the chips fall where they may. If they make it, they were good enough to make it. If they don't, they weren't. You go back in the draft, and you upgrade your talent. You get a wing, you get a point guard. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. You get another stretch 4 maybe with that late second round pick or wherever it is. You go best player available and go that way. So that's just how I see it, man. If you guys are new in the chat, leave me a hashtag new. I'll shout you guys out. We have, how many people rocking in the chat? 869. Let's get those thumbs up. Let's get those likes buttons up. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button. 869 people. Salute to the family watching on Facebook as well. Can't forget you guys. Somebody had sent a super chat, but I didn't see who it was. So whoever sent that super chat, definitely appreciate you. Always appreciate it. We got the rhyme animal, Chuck D, in the chat. Throw a hashtag PE, hashtag public enemy in the chat to salute Chuck. Always in here supporting us. Was just talking to him before I went on. So salute to Chuck, man. El Hancho says, I agree. Just ride it out. That's what I say, man. And that's what I say. Look, I know this is new territory for us. We've been losing for such a long time. And now that we see it, you could see the horizon, right? You could see it. And you're trying to get there. And so now everybody's trying to, try to get that guy that can get us there. To me, I'm just along for the ride, man. Wherever we end up, I'll be happy. Wherever it is. But it's a tough schedule, man. Tough schedule, no doubt. So let's see what they do. Trade deadline, we're about a month away. We're about a month away from the trade deadline. So here we go. Kelly from San Diego. Let's go to the West Coast. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Oh, man, everything is good. What's cracking?
How you feeling, bro? You sound like you're from the
So,
South, man. What you doing in San Diego, bro? You in the service?
yeah, man. I'm in the service, retired, did my 22 years,
No
and
doubt.
then it was time to pull chalk and change and rock out.
No doubt, man. Thanks for your service, man. Oh, you picked a good place to chill out, man. San Diego's a nice place, man. Thanks for your service, though.
Oh, appreciate it. Hey, much love to you, CP, and Knicks Nation. You know, hey, I am from the South. I'm from the Boot originally, and been a Knicks fan for since I was a little cat, man. So I gotta say, ain't nothing about that in the world better than the orange and blue.
That's right. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. All day long, brother.
So, oh yeah. So been listening to everything that's been said, and one other shout out I want to give is to you had him on there, the great man. Hey, that's one of the OGs you had, and then also another person I always love to follow as well is Raw Hebrew.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Raw Hebrew Remnant.
Sure.
So, but I got to tell you, CP, I was listening to what you were saying and what Ron was saying. We were talking about, we do need some help in that middle, especially with Mitch going down. But I mean, Nerlens is like hands of stone, Ronnie Garvin, man. His hands, man, he got like bricks for fingers and things, man.
Yeah.
He can't hold on to it. He's doing better. He's holding it down, but we do need Mitch. If we would have had Mitch last night, we would have won that game. I really do
Certainly
believe.
possible.
But we do need shooting, And like you're saying, Bullock's defense helps. However, you don't know what you're going to get. He's like, it's like what Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That's a fact.
With Bullock, you don't know what you're going to get.
No clue.
He's either hot or he's cold. So we got to get some shooting. But I don't see us making a trade to, the Bill thing. That's not going to happen, man.
No.
Those are pipe dreams right there. I really do believe because we would have to give up a lot to get.
Yeah.
Levine is doing this thing, and I've always liked Levine. I like to see him, but I think the move we're going to make is going to be something we don't see coming.
Right. That's what I
Seriously.
think. That's what I think. Yeah. I agree with you, bro.
On top of that, I'm hoping that we do free Frank for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Since I'm trying to rock with Frank. I've been rocking with him, give him his chance. He's got the defense. He just needs to be a little more aggressive. He'll pass the ball, but he needs to be aggressive. We need scoring. We need some extra scoring out there. We really do. I think a glaring thing right now is a wing. That's what we need. We need somebody on that wing to make something happen for us. But for the most part, I'm loving what we're doing. Randall's handling business, and the key thing is he made it to the All-Star. And those cats gonna get to chopping it up, be like, yo, we making moves. You want to, come this way. I think that's gonna happen. The networking. So we heading in the right direction. RJ's in his second season. He's coming along. He's gonna have the highs and the lows. We're still a young team. We got good key veterans. We got some good veterans. Bringing in D Rose was big, but we're inconsistent.
Yeah.
We're inconsistent. It's just like if we can get that consistency thing going on, get it down, we'll be all right. I will tell you this: teams don't want to see us, especially in the playoffs. It's like the old saying some cats will say about like throwing a turd in the punch bowl. That's us. We throwing a turd in the punch bowl. People don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, man. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Appreciate Kelly, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Salute Kelly. 20 years service. Chilling out there in the West Coast, man. Definitely appreciate your service once again, man. And playoffs are going to be tough. Playoffs are going to be tough. Like I said, a lot of teams have film on the Knicks right now. Going into this, they're 15-17 on the campaign. I think you saw what Golden State did to RJ early in this game as well. Same game plan as Miami. Started trapping him early on those pick and rolls, get the ball out of his hand early, force him into a lot of mistakes, force him into a lot of bad shots. RJ himself has got to play better. Yes, we go out. Yes, we do need to go out and acquire more pieces, but we got to focus from within as well. And certain guys just have to be more consistent. Even though the spacing may not be as ideal for RJ, he's got to deal with what he has. And I think part of dealing with what he has is getting his mid-range jump shot to a place where he's comfortable with it, where he can go to it and not have to force those drives and bully ball all the time. Because in the NBA, teams are going to adjust, and they're not going to give you that. And we've seen it. We've seen games where RJ has trusted his mid-range shot. You know, he gets that curl play and gets to the foul line or free throw line extended and knocks that down. We've seen it. We've seen it. We just got to see it more often, and hopefully he can be more consistent with it. You know, hopefully you can be more consistent with it. But, you know, last night wasn't a good game for him. No doubt about it. It wasn't a good game for him. So let's see how they bounce back. Once again, Knicks versus Kings tomorrow night, 7:30 at MSG. The Knicks did lose that game to the Kings on January 21st by the score 103-94, swipe of the Fox. And, you know, this Fox and D Rose matchup to me is the key matchup of the night because I don't know who they're going to have to defend him. And as Kelly said, maybe you give Frank a chance to get warm and maybe he gives it a shot against Swiper and Halliburton and maybe try to slow them down. I don't think he's going to be able to contain Swiper at the very least, but, you know, we'll see how it goes there. But, you know, Knicks just have to attack these guys early, man. Bagley, we know, is the weakest link in this Kings defense. Julius exposed him in that first matchup. I don't see why they can't do it again. Go to Bagley early and often in the pick and roll. Get aggressive on him. Maybe put him in foul trouble early. And really see if you can just really get these guys out of the building early, man. You know, it's time for the Knicks to just dominate this team. As I said, the Kings are giving up 120 points per game in the last 7. So, you know, they're not stopping anybody, man. The Knicks have to go out and impose their will. And that has to be D Rose, RJ, and Julius have to really set this tone tomorrow. They really have to set this tone tomorrow. So, we shall see how it goes down, man. No Whiteside for the Kings. No Hassan Whiteside for the Kings tomorrow. So, you know, Kings will be exposed in the middle. Knicks should be able to attack and impose their will. So let's see how that plays out. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. How many people we got? 879 rocking. Let's go. We got who's team hashtag new? Chris in the chat. Chris Shitu. What's going on? Jeff Jones team hashtag new. Shout out Sherrod 1279. Sherrod, how you feeling, man? Everybody team hashtag new. Definitely appreciate it. Seen a lot of people saluting Kelly, no doubt. Derek McFadden, how you feeling? So to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D with the super chat. He says, let's go. Let's get those thumbs up. And he also says, I agree. Mitch was creating havoc on all sides, even upon ourselves sometimes. But he wasn't fouling out. That has been the big season surprise. And yeah, you know, we did miss that with Mitch. You know, offensively, he brings a wrinkle to that offense as a rim runner. Also able to pass in the dribble handoffs. His passing has gotten a little bit better. But defensively, he was playing a lot more discipline on the defensive end. I think he only fouled out maybe once this year so far. And that's a big improvement for Mitch from year 2 and especially his rookie year. So big improvement for Mitch. The hand injury was just bad timing. And hopefully we can get him back, man. Milad Kayumi team hashtag new. How you feeling? A lot of people in the chat talking Buddy Hield again. Could Buddy Hield become available? Kings at 12-19. Could Buddy become available again? Who knows? But even Buddy hasn't been performing, you know, up to his expectations this season. So we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't break out of that slump tomorrow against the Knicks. But I think he only had about 13 points or 11 points against the Nets yesterday. So nothing crazy out of Buddy. Yeah, 11, 4 dimes and 5 rebounds for Buddy Hield yesterday against the Nets. So that's that. And you guys on YouTube are looking at the schedule. This is the last month of the schedule, which is in May, and this is the heaviest part, man. Knicks start the month off on a 6-game West Coast trip in H-Town against the Rockets, back-to-back against John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. That's going to be a tough game. Then they go to Mile High, the high altitude, Jokic, Jamal Murray, all those boys, Michael Porter Jr., they got to play them. Then they go to Phoenix. They'll see Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Ayton, and those boys. Tough game. Then Staples Center against Kawhi, Paul George, and the Clippers, and finish up against the Lakers. That is going to be tough, people. Absolutely brutal schedule. But hey, you got to play who's in front of you, and the Knicks have to show up, no doubt about it. So 2 more calls before we wrap up. Let's go back to Brooklyn. AJ, what's going on, bro?
Yo, CP, man, much respect to you. I love what you're doing, and big shout out to Knicks Nation. I have 2 things. I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
First, I don't know for the major.
Yo, AJ, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up just because your connection isn't good. Do me a favor, just hang up and call back. And Dave, just let me know if his connection is a little bit better. But the call just wasn't good, so I didn't want to put that through. Tony from South Carolina, what's going on, bro?
Hey, CP, how you doing?
Good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Hey, the reason why I'm doing pretty good. You know what? I'm seeing something that's hiding in plain sight. It has to do with free agency. The 2019 champions are available. Kawhi Leonard, possibly. Lowry, Ibaka, Danny Green. They could assemble a band again. You know, you hook them up with Randall, with Quickly, with Rose, with Thompson, with Mitch. We got something.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, those are certainly names that are out there. Those are certainly names that are out there in the free agency list. And he said he mentioned some of the old Raptors, Lowry, Ibaka, Kawhi Leonard. I'm sure those are names that the Knicks would want to look at. But, hey, these guys got to want to come here. You know, these guys got to want to come here. I don't know what the Raptors' free agency motivations will be or their priorities will be. They just read up Van Fleet last offseason. They drafted Malachi Flynn. At what point do they cut ties with Lowry? We know that he's Toronto through and through, so I don't know what their priorities will be in the offseason. Serge and Kawhi are with the Clippers. Steve Ballmer's going to be hell-bent on keeping him. Steve Ballmer's going to offer Kawhi any and everything that he needs. So I don't know, man. I think those are long shots, basically considering where they're playing right now. I think those are long shots. But we'll see. Those aren't bad ideas. I'm just not sure whether or not those are realistic targets for the Knicks. I'm just not sure. All right, let's try AJ again. AJ, back to you, bro.
Yo, can you hear? I hope you can hear me better, man. CP, much respect to you, and big shout out to KnicksFanTV and to Knicks Nation out there. I got 2 things I want to say real quick, right? One thing is it me or the major medias? They're not talking about the Knicks. Like, we're over here going crazy about Quickly scoring 25 points. Yeah. I go on NBA TV, I don't see nothing. Like, I mean, they're barely talking about that stuff. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, and I'm gonna hang up and let you answer. Lakers just waived Quinn Cook. He's 40% from 3-point. Why are we going after him? Why are we looking at Buddy Hield and all these other people that are not willing to come here? This guy's free. He only makes $3.5 million a year. Why ain't we going after him? All right, I'm gonna hang up with you, man. Love what you're doing.
Well, before you go, let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you something. You had said you took the mainstream media up for not covering the Knicks. That's why you got KnicksFanTV, man.
I know. Listen, I'm loving it, man. We loving it. We over here going crazy, man. Austin Rivers scored 25 points in 1 quarter, and we're like the only one talking about it. I'm like, what are they watching? What are they looking at, man? But listen, man, it's good. It's better for KnicksFanTV, and it's better for us, man. We got our little Knicks Nation here, our little Knicks community, and we're loving it, man.
Listen, I appreciate the call, man. Listen, people complain to me all the time. Oh, they're not talking about us. They're not giving us any credit. I don't watch. It doesn't bother me. And that's no offense to them. It just doesn't bother me. I watch my own channel. If I want to go out and hear what's going on at the Knicks, I'll call Ian Begley up. Say, Ian, come through. Talk to the people. I'll call Berman up. Maybe we'll get Alan Hahn. Maybe you call Rasheed Wallace up. Where else are you getting that but KnicksFanTV, the number 1 show for the fans by the fans? Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Where else are you getting Chuck D in the chat right now talking to the people? Come on. This is it. As humble as I could say it, this is as comprehensive as you're going to get. So all you new people, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. We go live after every game. You can hear from people like AJ. You can call in yourself. The phone lines are always open. 657-383-1509. Any major breaking news, rumors, we go live. The draft will be coming up. March Madness coming up. We'll get into our draft prospects. AJ gave me prime segue to promote the content. But that's what it is, man. We got the draft coming up. We'll do our prospect breakdowns. We'll hear from guys that cover these guys heavy. We have our X's and O's breakdown. Salute to Tommy D. KnicksFanTV Court Vision. For those of you that like the X's and O's parts of the game, make sure you check that out. We have our player interviews. We've had Derek Harper, Rasheed Wallace, Channing Frye, Quentin Richardson, Xavier McDaniel, the X-Man, all the X-Man fans. Throw an X in the chat. Should I continue? Hey, like I said, as humble as can be. We got everything for the fans, man. This is what KnicksFanTV is for. So you don't have to rely on the mainstream media to give you the news on your team. We don't need them to do that. We do it ourselves. And nowhere, no other channel can you get a mix and match, a hodgepodge of people from the beat, from other networks, former players, so on and so forth. Can't do that. You won't see Ian Begley on MSG. You won't see Alan Hahn on SNY. Right? We get all the best of all worlds for the people we get access to. You know. And that's just that, man. And what it is that it's the people that support. You know, the people continue to support. The people continue to call in. People continue to hit that thumbs up button for you boys. They donate. They share these videos. Very important to do so. Very important to do so. And we keep the momentum going, man. This is a grassroots movement for the fans, by the fans. As long as the people continue to support, you won't need mainstream media to give us any credit. You know, we talk about it here. And it's not homers. We criticize where it's due. We give credit where it's due. Simple and plain. So we'll be back tomorrow for Knicks versus Kings. Looking forward to that. Hopefully we get a bounce back W. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get a bounce back W. Hopefully Halliburton doesn't go off, man. You know, that would be you know, brutal. Hopefully Halliburton does not go off. And hopefully we get a good game from the supporting cast. You know, Julius is going to bring his A game. And hopefully the rest follow suit. Somebody in the chat said the Jazz are cooking the Lakers right now. I figured that. I turned the game off, but I figured the Jazz were going to go out and smoke them. And, you know, Lakers are looking vulnerable, man. LeBron better not sleep. Because right now they're third in the West. And it's going to be a dogfight, man. They're going to be coming at the champs. Heavy. So, you know, definitely something to look out for. And, yeah, man, what did you guys think about the schedule? What do you guys think about the Payton news, Rose? Leave a comment, man. Leave a comment after this video goes off. Continue the conversation. Also, join the Discord group. TM, if you can throw the link to the Discord group in there. The Discord group has grown. We got over 300 people now in the Discord group for those of you that want to continue the conversation. We also have a private Twitter DM group for you guys as well. So the conversation never ends, man. It's always going 24/7 too, because we have a major contingent, international contingent. Salute to everybody repping in the UK, France, Germany, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand. Big contingent, man. Everybody in the Caribbean as well supporting us. Canada. So yeah, we worldwide, man, in every time zone. So the conversation doesn't have to end. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Also, one thing, this show has been brought to you by KnicksFanTV.com. Definitely need you guys to go to KnicksFanTV.com and support us. You could get all the latest news there. We also have some independent bloggers there as well, man, that do a great job covering the team. And another thing, after every game, even though we come here for the post game, you want to check out my guy Remy. My guy Remy does a breakdown of the game and does player reviews. Remember, we used to do player reviews on the show, but because we didn't have time to cover everything. My guy Remy does it after every game, so he does a recap of the game and does player reviews on every player. He breaks it down very well, man. So salute to Remy for his hard work. Make sure you guys are checking that out on KnicksFanTV.com. Also, make sure you guys are signing up for the mailing list. Very important you sign up for the mailing list. We're not going to send you any Christmas cards or anything. It's just to keep you abreast of all the major news and updates going on with KnicksFanTV, man. We got a lot of stuff coming up in the pipeline. So make sure that that you guys are there. Oh, somebody said touching the Quinn Cook thing. Listen, we have our own Quinn Cook. His name is Emmanuel Quickly. They're not going to play together. What do we need Quinn Cook for? We don't need Quinn Cook. Quickly needs to cook. That's the thing. Quickly needs to cook. So, Quinn Cook ain't it, man. If he's not it for the Lakers, we're good, man. We got our own guy, man. His name is Emmanuel Quickly. That's it. So Quickly's got to play better. He's going through a little rough patch, a little rookie wall, if you will. But he's just got to step it up. So now, Quinn Cook is not really a move for me. Maybe somebody else, but not really a move for me, man. Not really a move for me. People throwing their cities in the chat. We got Wayne Dorsey checking in from Abu Dhabi. Chase Gather says he's checking in from Uganda. No doubt. Corey A says, how do we get in the private Twitter? Corey, DM me or DM TM. Reach out to either me or TM at KnicksFanTV on Twitter, and we'll throw you in the private DM group as well. Who else we got in here? Yeah, make sure you guys are going to KnicksFanTV.com. Very important to do so. A lot of good work there. Marius Gutierrez checking in from the DR. Okay. AJ Puguan, Philippines in here. Captain Sergeant, Ireland. The Emerald Isle, no doubt. Sham BK checking in from Guyana. Okay, no doubt, boy. All right. Who else we got in here? Richie U checking in from NYC. Chuck D checking in. He says Australia. He's repping Australia. Original Man says, I'm eating French fries tomorrow. French Prince is returning. I'd love to see Frank come back, man. I would definitely love to see Frank come back, I'd like to see all these kids playing, man. So let's see how it goes. But, yeah, once again, man, we will see you guys tomorrow night after the Knicks versus Kings game. Super Chat came in. Money Mark says, hands down, best Knicks content and draft content around. Giving a voice to the forgotten Knicks fan. Very important. Very important. That was the mission of the show. And we're going to continue moving. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.